Welcome. Today we're taking a closer look at the top 4 rare Australia 10-cent coins, each standing out because of unique mint marks, production variations, and the different conditions that make them truly valuable to collectors. Some of these coins became rare due to low mintages, while others gained popularity thanks to striking errors or unusually high-grade examples surviving in circulation. From older issues with tough-to-find mint marks to modern coins with surprising collector demand, the Australian 10-cent series offers hidden treasures that many people overlook. Whether you're checking pocket change, searching coin rolls, or building a special collection, these rare coins show just how valuable small denominations can become when the right combination of condition and rarity comes together. Get ready to explore these standout 10-cent pieces that every collector should know about. Let's get started. First up, the 1975 10-cent piece. Even though it's a common circulating coin, it carries a strong history, beautiful design, and great numismatic charm. The 1975 Australian 10-cent coin was minted during a period of stability within Australia's decimal currency system. The transition from pre-decimal money had already been completed, and the new decimal coins were widely accepted across the country. This coin carries no mint mark, which is standard for most Australian circulation coins. The absence of a mint mark tells us that it was produced as part of the regular run and not a special edition or commemorative issue. The obverse of the 1975 10-cent coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was created by Arnold McKinn and was used on Australian coins from 1966 until the mid-1980s, making it one of the most recognizable royal designs. In very fine condition, the Queen's facial features are still clear. You'll notice the smooth shape of her hair, the outline of the crown, and visible lettering around the rim such as Elizabeth II and Australia 1975. This level of detail tells us that while the coin was circulated, it was not overly worn. It maintains enough sharpness to be visually appealing and collectible. On the reverse, we see the iconic Australian design created by Stuart Devlin, the master of modern Australian coin art. The reverse features the graceful lyrebird, a native Australian species known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. In very fine condition, the details of the lyrebird's feathers remain strong. You can still see the layered feather pattern and the flowing contours that give the design its elegant appearance. The number 10 sits prominently on the reverse, bold and clear, representing the coin's denomination. Even after decades of circulation, very fine examples maintain strong definition around the edges of the numeral. The metal composition of the 1975 10-cent piece is 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy makes the coin durable and gives it the familiar silver-like appearance seen across Australian coins of this era. Because of its copper-nickel composition, the coin can develop natural toning over time. A coin in very fine condition often shows light toning but still maintains a solid shine under proper lighting. The edge of the coin features a reeded pattern, and in very fine condition, the reeding remains visible though slightly softened from circulation. This small detail tells us the coin has been handled but not heavily worn. One of the reasons collectors enjoy the 1975 issue is that it represents the early decades of Australia's decimal coinage system. These coins connect us to an era of modernization and economic growth. Very fine condition is an excellent grade for collectors on a budget. It offers strong visual definition without the high cost associated with extremely fine or uncirculated examples. When examining your coin, take note of the fields, the flat areas of the coin. In very fine pieces, the fields show minor marks and light wear but remain clean enough to reflect light. Coins like this one remind us that not every collectible needs to be rare. Sometimes, the beauty lies in the design itself and the history behind everyday currency. The 1975 10-cent coin has been used for countless daily transactions over many years. Even just imagining where your coin has traveled can make collecting more enjoyable. Collectors sometimes search this year for errors, though none are widely recognized as major varieties. Still, checking for misalignments or small die cracks adds to the excitement of collecting. One of the strengths of Australian coinage is its consistent artistic quality. The 10-cent design remains one of the most admired designs in circulation worldwide. Coins in very fine condition often make a great addition to educational sets. They help new collectors learn how to grade coins without worrying about damaging rare pieces. The smoothness on high points of the portrait and the bird's feathers shows the natural life cycle of a circulated coin. Observing these details helps collectors understand how wear is distributed over time. Even though this coin is not rare, finding one in very fine condition is always a nice discovery. Many circulated examples today fall into lower grades due to heavy use. This coin also represents a piece of Australian identity. The lyrebird is a symbol of the country's wildlife heritage, making the design culturally meaningful. The 1975 issue also marks a time when Australian coins were struck with extremely high craftsmanship. Even after decades, the details remain crisp compared to other world coins. Looking at your coin, you may notice the clear definition in the Queen's profile. This shows that the coin was not subjected to harsh handling or abrasive cleaning. Coins from the 1970s often feature subtle color variations due to environmental exposure. Your very fine example may show small patches of darker toning, adding to its character. Collectors of world coins appreciate this issue because it is affordable, historically important, and visually appealing. It fits well into world coin albums and decimal currency collections. The 10-cent denomination itself has played an important role in Australian daily life, being used for small purchases, public transport, and everyday change. Your 1975 example captures a moment in time, a coin that served its purpose while still surviving in a collectible grade. As we explore this coin today, remember that collecting is all about enjoying the history behind the pieces you find. Each coin brings its own story. This 1975 10-cent piece in very fine condition is a great example of how common coins can still offer depth, beauty, and a sense of connection to the past. Next up, the Australia 10-cent coin from the year 1971, a classic piece of circulating currency that still captures the attention of collectors around the world. The 1971 10-cent coin is part of Australia's early decimal coinage series, introduced just 5 years after the country switched from pounds and shillings to dollars and cents. This makes it an important coin for collectors interested in the decimal transition era. This coin carries no mint mark, which is normal for regular-issue Australian coins. The absence of a mint mark confirms it was struck by the Royal Australian Mint for everyday circulation. The obverse of the coin features the well-known portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was designed by Arnold McKinn and was used on Australian coins for many years due to its clean, elegant profile. In very fine condition, the portrait of the Queen still shows good facial features, the outline of the crown, and visible hair details. The lettering around the rim is clear and readable, showing Elizabeth II and Australia 1971. Very fine condition means the coin has circulated but retains strong detail on all major elements. The high points show light wear, but the overall design remains crisp and pleasing to the eye. On the reverse side, we find one of Australia's most iconic coin designs, Stuart Devlin's lyrebird. The lyrebird is famous for its ability to mimic sounds, making it an interesting symbol for the 10-cent denomination. In very fine condition, the lyrebird's feather structure remains prominent. You will notice the graceful curves of the tail feathers and the smooth lines that outline the body, even if some fine details show light wear. The number 10 appears large and bold on the reverse, representing the denomination. In very fine condition, its edges remain strong and the surface is free from major damage. The coin is made from copper nickel, a durable alloy that gives it a bright silver-white appearance when lightly cleaned or stored well. Over time, natural toning may appear, which is normal for older circulated coins. The edge of the coin has reading, and in very fine condition, this reading is still visible but slightly softened. This helps indicate how long the coin was in circulation. Collectors value the 1971 issue because it reflects Australia's early decimal years. The design is timeless, and even circulated examples have aesthetic appeal. One of the things that make this coin interesting is that it represents a moment in Australian history when coinage was stabilizing after the currency changeover. People were still getting used to the new decimal system. The reverse design by Stuart Devlin remains one of the most admired designs in the entire Australian coin series. Even modern collectors appreciate the artistic detail of the lyrebird. Very fine condition strikes a great balance between budget collecting and visual appeal. You get a coin with clear detail and character without needing to pay extra for higher grades. When examining your coin, look closely at the fields, the smooth flat areas. In very fine examples, the fields have some small marks but remain clean enough to reflect light. This coin has traveled through many hands, stores, pockets, and registers before reaching your collection. Each small scratch or mark tells a story of everyday Australian life. Even though the 1971 10-cent coin is not extremely rare, finding one in very fine condition adds value to your collection because many examples today show heavy wear. Collectors often check coins from this era for potential errors, though the 1971 issue does not have any major known varieties. Still, looking for minor die cracks or misstrikes can be exciting. The coin's design, metal composition, and durability make it ideal for long-term collectors and beginners alike. It's a strong educational piece for learning how circulation wear develops. The softness on the high points of the Queen's portrait and the bird's feathers helps you understand the natural pattern of wear that occurs through circulation. Despite being circulated, the coin still maintains strong eye appeal due to its balanced wear and the durability of its copper-nickel composition. The bright silver color of the coin, even in very fine condition, highlights the craftsmanship of the Royal Australian Mint during the early 1970s. The 1971 10-cent coin is also part of many world coin collections because it is affordable and widely available, yet historically important. Collectors enjoy the coin because it represents Australia's commitment to high-quality coin design and production. Each element of the coin reflects artistic precision. Looking at your coin today, you may notice hints of natural toning or small areas where the silver finish has gently faded, normal signs of age and circulation. The reverse design remains a favorite due to its simple yet elegant appearance. Even with light wear, the lyrebird continues to stand out beautifully. Examining coins like this helps collectors train their eye for grading accuracy. Seeing where wear appears and how much detail remains is an important skill in numismatics. Your very fine example has enough preserved detail to make it visually impressive, yet enough where to tell a real story of everyday use. This coin may not be rare, but it is a wonderful representation of Australia's coinage evolution and the everyday currency that shaped the nation's economy. The 1971 issue highlights the strong tradition of craftsmanship in Australian circulating coins. Its durability is one of the reasons so many exist today. As we wrap up this detailed examination, remember that every coin, even a circulated one, carries history, culture, and artistry within its design. The Australian 1971 10-cent coin in very fine condition is a great collectible piece, full of charm, detail, and significance for both new and experienced collectors. Next up, look at one of Australia's most familiar yet fascinating coins, the 1998 10-cent piece with no mint mark. Even though this coin is widely circulated and commonly found in everyday change, it holds a surprising amount of history, design beauty, and collectible interest that many new and seasoned coin hunters often overlook. In this video, we'll explore the story behind the 1998 10-cent coin, how it was produced, why it carries no mint mark, and what features collectors pay attention to when examining a circulated example. Whether you have a coin in your hand right now or are simply learning more about Australian decimal currency, this breakdown will help you understand why even ordinary coins can have extraordinary details. The Australian 10-cent coin has been in circulation since 1966, and throughout its decades of usage, it has maintained the same design, thickness, weight, and iconic appearance. Yet each year's production tells a different story about Australia's economy, mintage numbers, and minting standards. The 1998 issue is no different, with millions produced, yet each coin carrying small variations that become important to collectors. The 1998 10-cent coin features the classic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. This was the Raphael Maklauf effigy, which had been used on Australian coins from 1985 until 1998. That makes this year's coin especially interesting, because it marks the final year that this particular portrait was used before the newer Ian Rank Broadley design replaced it in 1999. On the reverse side, you will find the iconic lyrebird design created by the great Stuart Devlin, known around the world as the goldsmith to the Queen. His artistic style, full of movement and fine details, gives the lyrebird a dynamic and graceful appearance, which is part of why collectors enjoy the 10-cent series so much. The lack of a mint mark on this coin is completely normal for standard circulating Australian coins. Many countries include mint marks to show where their coins were made, but Australia does not place mint marks on regular circulation currency. That is why the 1998 10-cent coin, like many others, appears without one. Even in circulated condition, the 1998 10-cent coin can look visually appealing. The metal composition of this coin, 75% copper and 25% nickel, creates a strong, reliable alloy that ages in a distinctive way. As coins circulate, the color may darken, lighten, or take on a soft gray tone, depending on storage, handling, and environmental exposure. A circulated coin also shows wear on the raised details. On the obverse, this usually affects the queen's hair curls and the sharpness of the crown. On the reverse, the lyrebird's feathers and the curved lines of the numeral 10 may lose some of their crispness. These signs of wear help collectors determine the grade of the coin. While circulated coins are generally common, certain features can make them interesting. Errors, for example, can greatly increase a coin's value. For the 1998 10-cent coin, known errors include die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and misaligned dies. Even small imperfections can attract collector attention. Another important detail is the coin's edge. Australian 10-cent coins have a reeded edge, and even in circulated condition, these grooves should still be visible. Heavy wear may smooth the edges, but original ridges give clues about how much the coin was used during its life. Collectors also look for luster, even on circulated coins. A coin with remaining natural shine is usually better preserved and can stand out from heavily worn examples. Although a 1998 10-cent coin found in daily change will rarely have strong luster, some pieces may still show flashes of brightness. The thickness and weight of the coin are also standardized. Any unusual feel, weight difference, or abnormal thickness may indicate a striking error or planchet issue. These rare minting mistakes often become highlights in coin collections. For coin collectors in Australia and around the world, the 10-cent series is a popular entry-level collectible because it is affordable, easy to find, and rich in history. The 1998 issue provides a great example of how coins reflect their time, especially since it marks the transition from one royal portrait to another. Many collectors also enjoy gathering one coin from every year to build a full-date set. In that context, the 1998 coin becomes essential. Even a circulated piece is useful to complete the timeline of 10-cent designs. The circulated condition of the coin tells a story of its own. It may have passed through thousands of hands, traveled through cities and rural towns, and been used for decades in vending machines, shops, and banks. Every mark and scratch represents a moment in its long journey. Because the coin has no mint mark, collectors rely on the date to identify when it was made. This adds simplicity to the series, making it easy for new collectors to start organizing their finds by year without needing to learn mint mark systems. The durability of the copper-nickel alloy helps the 10-cent coin survive for many years, and even after heavy circulation, the coin retains most of its design. This durability is one reason the 1998 10-cent coins are still commonly found in change today. While the coin is usually not extremely rare, some coins survive in better condition than others. A slightly worn example may still be considered very desirable for collectors who focus on upgrading the quality of specific years in their sets. The historical context of 1998 adds interest as well. The late 1990s were a period of modernization for the Royal Australian Mint, with improvements in coin production and upcoming design changes. That makes the 1998 issue a turning point in the series. Coins from this year also vary slightly in tone. Some appear bright silver, while others develop darker patches. These differences depend on storage, humidity, and circulation environment rather than minting variations. For those who enjoy hunting through circulated coins, the 1998 10-cent piece is a rewarding find. Not because it is rare, but because it allows you to appreciate the subtle beauty and craftsmanship of Australian decimal currency. In circulated condition, the coin shows the effects of real use, which many collectors find appealing. It displays authenticity and history, something pristine mint-state coins cannot always offer. Understanding circulated grading is important for collectors. A circulated 1998 10-cent coin may fall into grades such as fine, very fine, or extremely fine, depending on how much detail remains on the obverse and reverse. Even if your coin is not worth a high amount today, it teaches valuable lessons about identifying wear, evaluating condition, and appreciating small variations that can affect value. If you are building a collection of Australian 10-cent coins, adding a 1998 example is essential. A circulated piece is perfectly acceptable, especially if you are assembling a date run from 1966 to the present. Many collectors also enjoy comparing circulated coins from different years to see how design changes, where patterns and metal tones differ over time. The 1998 coin, being the final year of the MacLauff portrait, stands out especially clearly when placed beside a 1999 example. Some collectors even keep multiple 1998 coins to look for die variations or errors that may not be obvious at first glance. Subtle differences can sometimes be discovered only after comparing several coins side by side. Next up, the 1967 10-cent piece with no mint mark. This coin is from the second year of Australia's decimal currency system, making it historically important and highly interesting to collectors, even when found in circulated condition. The 1967 10-cent coin may look simple at first glance, but it represents a major stage in the transformation of Australia's coinage. Only 1 year earlier, Australia had switched from pounds, shillings, and pence to the modern decimal system. Because of that, the 1967 issue reflects the new identity and fresh design style of the country's updated currency. The coin displays the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait is easily recognizable for its youthful appearance and the elegant tiara placed gently across the Queen's hair. Coins from this era show a completely different style compared to modern Australian currency. On the reverse side, we see one of Australia's most iconic coin designs, the magnificent lyrebird created by the legendary artist and goldsmith Stuart Devlin. His ability to capture movement, texture, and lifelike detail is fully visible in this beautiful design that has remained unchanged on the 10-cent coin for decades. Because this is a standard circulation coin, it carries no mint mark. Australia does not put mint marks on most regular circulating coins, so the absence of one on the 1967 10-cent piece is completely normal. Collectors identify the coin by its date, design, and physical features. In circulated condition, the 1967 coin often shows signs of age, including darkening, surface marks, worn edges, and softened details. After nearly 6 decades of use, many examples show heavy wear, making a well-preserved circulated coin more desirable than you might expect. Understanding the condition of a circulated 1967 10-cent coin begins with the obverse. The Queen's hair strands, the lines of the crown, and the smoothness of the portrait are the first areas collectors examine. On heavily worn pieces, these details become faint or completely flattened. The reverse also provides important clues about the coin's life. The lyrebird's feathers, the long sweeping lines around the body, and the smoothness of the numeral 10 help determine how long the coin circulated. Deep details on the lyrebird often survive better on lightly circulated pieces. Australia's early decimal coins were made from a strong copper-nickel alloy containing 75% copper and 25% nickel. This metal mixture gives the coin its distinctive silver-gray appearance and long-lasting durability. Even after decades, the coin remains solid and resistant to corrosion. Many 1967 10-cent coins show a range of natural toning. Some become darker gray, others take on a blue or golden tint, and some develop uneven patches from years of handling. These colors do not usually affect the coin's authenticity but can make each piece look unique. The edge of the coin has reeded or grooved lines. On circulated examples, these ridges may be worn down or partly smoothed. Sharp, well-defined edges indicate less wear and can help determine condition when comparing multiple coins from the same year. Collectors also pay attention to the luster, even on circulated coins. Although most 1967 coins have lost their original shine due to age and use, some circulated pieces preserve traces of the mint's original brightness, adding appeal to the coin. The 1967 10-cent coin holds historical value because it comes from the very beginning of Australia's decimal era. These coins represent modernization, national identity, and the shift toward a simpler monetary system that shaped the future of Australian currency. Because the coin is widely circulated, finding one today is not difficult, but finding one in excellent condition can be surprisingly challenging. Younger collectors often underestimate how much wear a nearly 60-year-old circulated coin can show. Even though the 1967 issue had a high mintage, many examples have been lost, melted, heavily damaged, or left in poor condition. This makes lightly circulated coins more collectible than people realize, especially for date-set builders who aim for better quality pieces. Errors from this year are also of interest. Known mistakes include clipped planchets, die cracks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and other minting flaws. Because coin production in the 1960s was not as technologically refined as today, error coins from this period can be valuable. The significance of this coin also stems from its design longevity. The 10-cent reverse design has remained unchanged since 1966, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in modern Australian history. The early dates like 1967 help collectors appreciate the evolution of the series. When holding this coin, You are holding a small piece of Australian history that has traveled through countless hands. Circulated examples often show scratches, impact marks, and surface friction, each representing years of everyday use by ordinary Australians. Collectors often compare early-year coins like the 1967 issue with later ones to observe how the portrait, minting quality, and where patterns differ across decades. These comparisons teach beginners how metal ages and how design details change over time. The wear on circulated coins can also reveal how the high points of the design age differently from lower areas. On the obverse, the highest points are the Queen's cheek and hair curls, while on the reverse, the raised lines of the number 10 and the upper feathers of the lyrebird wear down faster. For many collectors, this coin is not just something found in change, it is a collectible item that connects them to the origins of Australia's modern currency system. That historical connection gives even worn examples a special place in coin collections. This coin is also popular among international collectors who enjoy building sets of early decimal coins from different countries. The 1967 10-cent piece is a key part of any Australian decimal history collection. When searching through circulated coins, finding a 1967 10-cent piece can be exciting because of its age and significance. Even though its face value is small, its story and design make it stand out from modern coins. Collectors who are building a year-by-year run of Australian 10-cent pieces will definitely need the 1967 coin. Its early date makes it essential for completing a full decimal era set from 1966 to the present. The circulated condition of the coin does not diminish its importance. Instead, it reflects its practical journey through the Australian economy, from pocket change to shopping trips, to transactions and everyday use. Coins like this remind us how far Australian currency has come. The 1960s marked a turning point in design, manufacturing, and public use of money. The 1967 10-cent coin stands as a symbol of that transition. Even after years of use, this coin still retains its elegant beauty. The lyrebird's flowing lines, the classic portrait of the Queen, and the balanced composition of both sides make it a piece of miniature art. Holding a circulated 1967 10-cent coin is like holding a small artifact from a different era. It carries the energy of decades, the marks of countless hands, and the endurance of a design that has remained iconic for nearly 60 years. As you examine your coin, take time to appreciate its age, craftsmanship, and historical meaning. Even in circulated condition, the details that remain tell a story of resilience, artistry, and national heritage.